Shalom, family. Today we will be preparing stuffed bell pepper with veggies and also some fruit. You may hear some additional noise in the background, but that's just the children. They trying to become part of the prepare of this veggie slash apple slash stuffed bell pepper. So I hope you. All right. So first, I preheated the oven to 400 degrees. And I'm going to start the sauteing of my veggies using the extra light tasting olive oil. So I put enough in here to actually coat the pan. And that is at least about 2 tablespoonfuls. I already have it on a medium heat. And the oven is already preheating to 400 degrees. Now I'm going to be sauteing a jalapeno. So I diced it up already. Well, not actually dice it up, but cut it up. After that, I'm going to add 1 cup of onions. And also at least about 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. So I'm going to saute this for about 4 to 5 minutes, at least until the veggies get a little soft and tender. Okay, so now we have finished sauteing the garlic and also the jalapeno pepper along with the onions. So you see that it's nice and soft, but at the same time it's not too mushy. So we're going to set this to the side, and I'm going to start cutting up 1 sweet potato, dice it up, and we are going to put that in the water and water for it to boil so it can get tender. Okay, so right here, this is 1 sweet potato diced up. So about this size right here. And I'm going to use some vegetable broth in order to boil the sweet potatoes in. So right here, this is 1 cup. So you see the 1 cup didn't actually cover it all the way. So I'm going to add another cup. All right, so that covered it just like I needed it to. So what I'm using is the organic vegetable broth. And now we'll put a little ground cinnamon on it. This is a ½ teaspoon, but I'm going to do 2 of these. You don't want to overfill your ½ teaspoon, so that's why I'm kind of shaking it a little bit. So that's 1. And here is 2. And then also I'm going to add 1 of the ground allspice. So a ½ teaspoon of ground allspice and 1 teaspoon of the cinnamon. So I'm going to bring this to a boil. This is probably going to take about maybe 15-20 minutes in order for the potatoes to get tender. Okay, now we've finished the sweet potatoes, and they look like this. I already took a fork and put it and placed inside the sweet potato, tasted it's tender enough. And in the meantime, I was cooking some Lundenberg's wild blend rice, and it's gluten-free, whole grain, non-GMO. So that's how that looks. All right, so now I'm about to drain the sweet potato, drain the water off the sweet potato, but that's actually vegetable broth. So I'm gonna drain this off. Okay, so now we're about to start mixing everything in. This is what we're gonna use in order to actually stuff our bell pepper. So we started off with black beans, naturally better, and this is at least about 15.5 ounce. So that's the black beans. This is the sweet potatoes, and this is one apple cut up. And you know from early when we sauteed our veggies, that's what we have in here in this bowl. So basically what I'm gonna do is put all this together. So that's all together. And then I'm gonna dice up these two Roma tomatoes. So, and then I'm gonna add in a half a cup of vegetable broth and stir that up. I'll be back with you. All right, so here's the half a cup of vegetable broth. You see I already added one tomato that's already cut up and chopped up. So that's a half a cup of vegetable broth. This is cilantro. This is about a half a cup of cilantro. You gotta use your fingers sometime when you're cooking. So, you know, that's all a part of cooking. So now I have some black pepper. And with this black pepper, you probably could do like a teaspoon of it. But you see, I'm shaking it. So that's about enough. The salt, the sea salt. So I always make sure that I do about this much. Oregano or oregano leaves. That's about a teaspoon. Crushed red pepper. So that's about a half a teaspoon. And chili powder. And just a little of that. And the dry seasoning is based on your liking. So I'm saying about a half a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon. You may do less or you may do more. So now I'm going to stir this all up, and this is what I'm going to use in order to stuff the bell pepper. I actually taste the veggies mix that I have, so I like vegetables, so it didn't bother me. It got a little spice to it, so it actually tastes good. So now I'm going to add the wild rice. And with the wild rice, I cooked the wild rice according to the package. The package said 1 cup of wild rice, and it said 1 1/3 of water. So you let that water and the rice come to a boil, and once it comes to a boil, you let it simmer for 45 minutes. So as I was doing the sweet potatoes, I was doing the rice at the same time. And now I'm going to take and stir all this together. As you see, it's a nice little texture. And I'm trying to stir it real gently because I don't want to smash up the beans. So I'm just basically tumbling it over. All right. Now we're going to get ready to do the fun part. The fun part is stuffing the bell pepper. Okay, so I taste the veggie seasoning or the veggie mix again. Now it has a little heat on it. So I would advise you, because I put a lot more, but then I like a little spicy, and plus my husband like a little spicy too. I would advise you not to put as much red flakes um, in your veggie mix. So time to stuff, and that is a half a cup of the veggie mix. All right, so see, that wasn't so bad. Usually, if you're going live with things, look like all your seasoning mix goes all in the middle of the pan and all on the floor, but this actually came out good. So my oven is already preheated to 400 degrees, and I am going to let this bake for 20 to 30 minutes and also cover it with foil. Once it's out for 20 or 30 minutes, well, bake for 20 or 30 minutes, then I'm going to put the cheese on top and let it bake for another 5 minutes. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the finished stuffed bell peppers are going to taste. Okay, so we just finished everything, and after it was in there for 30 minutes, that's when I took it out and I put the cheese on top and I let it stay in there for 5 minutes uncovered. But when it was baking at first, for the first 30 minutes, I made sure that I cover it. So we are done, and I hope you enjoy this video, family, of the stuffed veggie bell peppers. Shalom.